To gather how Utahns are reacting to this story today, we are now joined live by Utah GOP Chair Rob Axson. Rob, I want to thank you for staying up with us this evening.
Yeah, happy to do so.
Obviously, a tragic day in American history today to see what played out. What was your reaction, initial thoughts when you saw what happened?
So I'm actually out here in Milwaukee now. I've been out here for the last number of days and will be out here throughout the convention next week. I was actually at a Nationals and Brewers baseball game with a number of other party chairs and party officials, and it was shocking what we found out, just like everybody else. You hear it, you see it. This should not happen in the United States, this type of evil act. So certainly we were met with those initial emotions of frustration and dismay. But I'll tell you, the feeling that I've seen change over the last number of hours throughout this town is one to being resolute. We are resolute to the patriotic duty to fight for this country and to promote values that transcend this violent act and something that should never stand.
Now, obviously, we've talked a lot about polarization in this country. This is an event that is at the fever point of polarization in our country. How important is it for both sides to take temperature of this, as Senator Lee has pointed out, and try to quell these divisions and divisive rhetoric that's been happening in politics?
I think everybody needs to look around themselves and ask, what good can you do? What is something positive you can do in promoting the values that you believe in building the community that you want to live in? The more that we all lean into building and doing good while defending what we believe, and always condemn any type of nonsense like this, not only the violent act, the evil act that we saw today, but also, what are those elements? What are those conversation points and statements that lead to that? We need to condemn that wherever we see it. Certainly, I think that our country is one of positivity and patriotism, and we have a bright future. I'm grateful. And I consider it a blessing from on high that President Trump is fine. And I think we all need to send our prayers on behalf of the victims of today's event.
Absolutely. And I hate to ask this question, but it's on the minds of a lot of people out there. What are your thoughts on how this potentially changes ramping up towards November?
Here's the nice thing. What happened today was an attack against every single God-fearing, loyal, patriotic American, regardless of what your political stripes may be. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat, you should be absolutely dismayed by what you saw today, and it should be a motivation to be better. Imagine those days right after 9/11. Imagine those days after any hurricane or disaster that our country has faced. It's what you see after the moment that is inspiring and what makes me proud to be an American, and I think we have an opportunity across the political divide now to respond to what we saw today by showing that we as an American public, we as citizens, we as neighbors are better than the acts of this one terrified coward.
That is Utah State GOP Chair Rob Axson joining us live from Wisconsin tonight. Thank you so much for staying up with us.
Hey, pleasure to be with you guys.